Chapter 1. The Lost Colony, America's First Disappearance. The story doesn't start with Roswell or the Cold War. It starts long before the United States was even born, before Washington, before Jefferson, before America had a name. It starts in 1587 on the rugged coast of what is now North Carolina at a place called Roanoke Island. The English settlers called it the New Eden, but what they found there would haunt America's hidden history forever.
John White, a seasoned navigator and artist, led 115 men, women, and children across the Atlantic to establish the first permanent English colony in the New World. They carried the hopes of England, dreams of a new life, and knowledge that could alter the balance of power across nations. But America was not empty. The forests whispered secrets older than any European could imagine. The native tribes watched silently, guarding ancient stories of celestial phenomena, strange lights, and disappearances.
White left Roanoke in August 1587 to return to England for supplies. He promised to come back quickly, but 3 years passed. By the time he returned in 1590, the colony had vanished. Not a single soul remained. The homes were intact, tools and belongings lay scattered, as if the settlers had vanished into thin air. The only clue was a single word carved into a tree: CROATOAN. Historians for centuries called it a mystery. But hidden deep in colonial archives, documents quietly locked away from public scrutiny, are strange reports of luminous nights, unearthly sounds from the forest, and children who spoke strange languages after the lights appeared. These accounts were never meant for ordinary eyes. They hint at something far beyond mere disappearance.
A logbook from a Spanish spy in 1590 noted, "The English speak of stars that walk upon the land." At first, it was dismissed as superstition. Yet every century since, similar reports have emerged. Sightings of mysterious objects, unexplained disappearances, and coded messages that hinted at ancient knowledge. Roanoke was only the beginning. Fast forward 200 years. During the American Revolution, soldiers reported strange, glowing phenomena over the forests of Virginia and Pennsylvania. Luminous shapes that vanished the moment anyone tried to approach. Diaries from George Washington's aides mention a light that bends not with the wind nor with the moon, yet is as real as the morning sun. Most of these entries were classified and later buried, removed from libraries and hidden in vaults of secret societies.
The word CROATOAN seems almost prophetic. In 1859, a solar storm unlike any before lit the skies of America. Telegraph wires sparked uncontrollably, sending electricity into the hands of operators who were decades away from understanding what was happening. Scientists then, and historians later, could not explain the intensity or timing of the phenomenon. The message from Roanoke appeared to echo across time, connecting seemingly unconnected events in American history. By the early 20th century, the U.S. government began to take interest in these phenomena more seriously. Roanoke, once dismissed as folklore, became the focal point of Project Lantern, a secret program to study anomalous electromagnetic activity in the American Southeast. Files described glowing orbs, children who spontaneously spoke unknown languages, and settlers disappearing without trace. One report, still classified until 2009, stated, "The anomalies of Roanoke indicate interaction with an intelligence or phenomenon not yet understood. Containment recommended."
Even the famed Wright brothers, while experimenting with early aviation, reported that the sky above Kitty Hawk would occasionally shimmer with unnatural lights. Samuel P. Langley, a contemporary and competitor, made cryptic notes in his personal diary. "The air moves with patterns unseen, as if guided by invisible hands. Something waits above us, watching, learning." The Roanoke mystery, long thought to be a story of vanished settlers, becomes increasingly sinister under this lens.
Across centuries, the thread of CROATOAN seems woven into the hidden history of America, into military experiments, secret societies, and government investigations that stretch from the 16th century to the modern era. And yet, the mystery persisted, largely forgotten by the public, deliberately hidden by those who understood that knowledge is power. The disappearance of Roanoke was not a simple vanishing, it was a signal, the first recorded hint of something far greater operating within the shadows of America, a hidden America that would influence every century thereafter. By the 1940s, Project Lantern's research evolved into covert operations in the Southwest. Unidentified aerial phenomena were reported over New Mexico and Arizona. Witnesses described metallic disks and lights moving in ways that defied conventional physics. The U.S. military documented them, but the files remained classified. In a way, it was the continuation of a centuries-old story. The unexplainable patterns that began at Roanoke were now reaching their modern apex. By the 1940s, Project Lantern's research evolved into covert operations in the Southwest. Unidentified aerial phenomena were reported over New Mexico and Arizona. Witnesses described metallic disks and lights moving in ways that defied conventional physics. The U.S. military documented them, but the files remained classified. In a way, it was the continuation of a centuries-old story. The unexplainable patterns that began at Roanoke were now reaching their modern apex.
The word CROATOAN appeared again, subtly, in codes, ciphers, and files. A researcher in the 1950s noted that the letter seemed to correspond with anomalous electromagnetic zones across the eastern United States. Could it be coincidence, or was Roanoke the first recorded intersection of human history with a force far beyond ordinary comprehension? Those who investigated further often disappeared, were discredited, or silenced. Yet each generation produced new witnesses. A farmer in North Carolina in 1937 reported lights dancing over his field like liquid stars, eerily similar to the accounts of John White. By 1947, Roswell, New Mexico became the modern epicenter of unexplained phenomena, echoing the vanished colony in both mystery and implication. Roanoke remains a cautionary tale, a warning buried beneath layers of history. It is not merely a story of lost settlers, it is the first chapter in a saga that intertwines secret knowledge, government concealment, and the inexplicable forces that have always operated on American soil. The word CROATOAN still resonates as a cryptic symbol, a message meant for those willing to see beyond the surface of history. And as the centuries pass, the secret persists. Hidden in archives, symbols, and coded messages, it waits. The first American colony may have vanished, but its legacy, its secret, continues to shape a hidden America that is older, stranger, and more dangerous than anyone could imagine. The Lost Colony of Roanoke was not the end. It was the beginning.